Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the high-stakes world of startups. We're going to use some incredible insights from investor Táňa Ondrejková to map out the real journey of a founder, from just an idea all the way to a potential unicorn. Okay, let's just start with a pretty sobering reality. 9 out of 10 startups, well, they're going to fail. They'll just flame out. It's a brutal statistic for sure, but really understanding why is the very first step on the path to success. So what on earth makes that one survivor so special?
Despite those crazy risks, new companies with these world-changing ambitions keep popping up. And they're all chasing that legendary, almost mythical unicorn status. So today, that's what we're breaking down. What is the secret sauce that separates a good idea from a billion-euro reality?
So, here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll follow the founder's quest through 5 key stages, from figuring out what the dream even is, to the local scene, to finding a mentor, to what makes a founder tick, and finally, to the ultimate test of success. All right, first up, let's define the prize. In the startup universe, there is one mythical creature that absolutely everyone is hunting for.
1 billion euros. That's the number. This is what defines a unicorn, a privately held startup that is valued at that staggering amount. It's the kind of thing that Silicon Valley legends are made of.
But hold on. Before you can dream of being a unicorn, you have to be a startup. And a startup isn't just, any new business. It's really defined by its core DNA. It has to be innovative, it has to be disruptive, and this is key. It has to have the potential for explosive global growth. It's literally built to scale and to scale fast. And this comparison just lays it out so perfectly. You've basically got 2 kinds of big winners. You have the rare, explosive unicorns, the high-risk, high-reward players that inspire a whole new generation. But then you have the workhorses. These guys are absolutely vital. They might not be aiming for billions, but they are the steady, high-revenue, value-creating backbone of any healthy economy.
Now, where you play the game matters a lot. To really see how these challenges play out in the real world, let's zoom in on a specific case study, the startup scene in Slovakia. It gives us a really powerful look at how local culture can shape a founder's entire journey.
It's a landscape of really sharp contrasts. On one hand, you have founders developing just excellent products, really strong technologies. But on the other hand, they're battling this cultural mindset that really discourages selling yourself and just harshly punishes any kind of failure.
And this quote, wow, it says it all. This mentality is a huge hurdle. It's this deeply ingrained belief that being different is risky, which of course is the exact opposite of the mindset you need to build a game-changing startup. When you look at the data, a very specific picture emerges. The typical startup there is born in the capital, it's founded by men, and it's focused on tech. Now, this shows you where the energy is right now, but what's more important is what it reveals. Huge gaps and just massive untapped potential in other regions and for other people, especially female founders. Okay, so in an arena like this, a founder really needs a guide. But it's so important to understand that investors, well, they can play 2 very, very different roles. You've got to ask yourself this question. The kind of help you need really determines the kind of investor you should be looking for. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of relationship.
Okay, so let's break this down. A business partner is in the trenches with you. They're providing the marketing help, the accounting, the tech infrastructure. They're co-building the company with you, and for that, they take a higher equity stake. An angel investor, on the other hand, is more like rocket fuel. They provide the funding and the connections for a team that already knows how to run, and they take a much smaller piece of the pie for it.
So, what does it take to actually be the hero of this journey? When investors are looking at a founder, what are they really looking for?
It's not about having some flawless idea from day one. It's all about character. It's about tenacity. Can you get knocked down flat and get right back up? It's about self-discipline. Do you reinvest in the business instead of buying a fancy car? And it's about humility, the ability to listen, to learn, and to solve problems without just making excuses.
This is a classic for a reason. Successful founders get this. They understand their job isn't to be the expert in everything. Their real job is to build a team of experts, to create a room where they are constantly being challenged and pushed to be better.
And all of this brings us to the final and probably the most misunderstood part of the whole journey, failure. In a culture that is terrified of making mistakes, this becomes the ultimate test.
Now, this is where the perspective completely flips. An experienced investor doesn't see a past failure as a red flag. In fact, they see it as a badge of honor. It's proof of wisdom, of resilience. It's a sign that this founder has been tested by fire and is somehow still in the game.
So the goal then isn't to avoid failure at all costs. That's just impossible. The real goal is to embrace this mantra, fail fast. Learn from your mistakes quickly. Pivot, cut your losses, and move on to the next idea without wasting precious time or money.
And this is the key takeaway for all of this. The quest for a unicorn isn't about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it, reframing every single misstep, every stumble as a critical piece of data. That right there is the mindset that separates the 9 who fail from the 1 who actually succeeds.